Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Sheets, and we're going to be going over the NBA, NHL, and that's it for this evening. We don't really have too much time, but just to show you um, what I did as far as the truck series goes, I may as well just kind of show you my overall idea. So I essentially I just uploaded the projections and what I did on this particular occasion as I used my own builds as the contest field. I was not too confident in the SaberSim stock ownership, so I decided to replace the contest field with my own, and then just to give myself a little bit more variance in lineups, I went a full min uniques 3. And even so, I still ended up, just in case you guys care, with still a whole bunch of Christian Eckes, like 66%. And then next bunch of own guys was Connor Zilich, Grant Enfinger, Ms. Majeski, and then Corey Day. And then Ankrum. You see the exposures here. But I essentially relied on my projections and used the contest sims that using those projections would create. We've done that a couple of times, League of Legends and tennis to good success. So we tried it today with NASCAR, the same thing. Okay, let's share my screen so I can show you that. Sorry about that. So this is what the build would look like. And you might note that I did come in a little different than SaberSim on several of the projections here. Like I came in 4 points higher or 6 points higher than the field on Christian Eckes, and also a full 7 points higher on Ty Majeski. That was just so as a result, I'm probably going to get way over the field on that in my exposures. And one thing you can do is sort by leverage to see actually where you're most leverage, and actually it looks as though Connor Zilich is where I'm most leveraged actually. So they're projecting 38% ownership for Majeski, so it's not like I'm that different with him. I do think it's probably hard to get lineups with Eckes and Majeski both home, right? I mean, the 1 and the 2 hole, I mean, how do they both get optimal? They have to kind of run 1-2, don't they? That's kind of tough. It's a lot to ask. But anyway, we do have several lineups like that. We've got a bunch of lineups with Corey Haim in it as well. And we're just going to see what happens there. All right. Let's go to, what do you want to do first? You want to bang out hockey first? May as well. We'll bang out the hockey builds and see what it looks like, and then we'll get into a little more depth with the NBA. We'll look for some news. We'll look at the projections. Let's just do, well, we could spend just a second at least on hockey. So a real quick look to see who I think I would be getting before I even ran this stuff. It looks to be, again, it's all visual. You know what I mean? Like how many guys am I seeing here? Okay, Winnipeg. There you go. So 1, 2, 3, like a whole bunch of Winnipegs in this top group. So I'm just going to guess that Winnipeg is going to be high, one of my highest owned stacks, because that's going to be based to some degree on my projections. But let's just see. Let's upload. And again, we're using SaberSim here as always. Oh, by the way, for those of you that didn't see, we had a good day in the showdown slate last night. I was one of the fortunate to chop the showdown slate for like 27,000 last night. Thank you very much for Devontae Adams, that last touchdown, and thank you very much for Houston not getting that backdoor touchdown to somebody I probably wouldn't have. So that was obviously really strong. All right, so we uploaded the projections, and we were just going to build 5,000 lineups. And I think that the projection edge you get is not that high. I mean, I listen, I look at my projections, I look at Goldies, I look at the industries in general, and you don't see too much distinction or variance between projections. Where you do get different is what rules you put in with respect to stacking, like what type of stacks you're willing to live with, and what you want to be stubborn about, and then also what contest fields that you want to use. So that those are the ways you really differentiate yourself in this environment. So let's first just run the 5,000 lineups and see what we'd be getting. And that would be, look at that, all of the Winnipeg. And then we look at team stacks, we'd be getting literally 90% Winnipeg. So before we go ahead and run the sims, let's X out these bow wow stacks that we don't want. Like I don't want 5 zeros or 4 2-2s or 3 3-2s or whatever, 4 zeros. So let's X those out. And then we'll just go ahead and run the sims and see what we come up with. Yo, what's going on, MR Don? Or Mr. Don? Yeah, you missed a good one yesterday. We chopped the showdown, MR Don, for a good chunk of cheese. Let's see if we can keep it going with hockey and basketball. Basketball's so hard, man. I mean, I won a small GPP a couple of days ago. Felt like I was king of the world. It's just a very, very tough sport. You got to really be on top of the late swaps and obviously all the news. Okay, so when we run the sims, how does that kind of impact things? Now we're getting mostly like Islanders, Ottawa, and I kind of like that. I like when the sims just kind of like give you stuff that you wouldn't have otherwise had. So now let's go into min uniques and go more min uniques, as many as we can before the min destination ROI kind of disappears on me. So it's still 35%, 33%, and then not bad, 28%. So we're actually getting some. Now it drops to 18. So let's go back to min uniques 4. Let's go back into stack exposures. Make sure we X out these bow wow stacks here. And I think we've done a good job. Now I probably don't even want to look at who we have, if you want to know the truth. Take a quick sneak peek just for the hell of it. So mostly Islanders, Devils, and then Winnipeg, and then our old favorite, Ottawa. So let's go back into autofill. Make sure that the highest buy-in lineup is at the top of this, so that when the sims allocate the lineups properly, it'll if the lineup was going to end up in all of them, it's going to make sure it gets into that energy line first. Now we will save the contests. Very nice. What we are going to be able to do is when the trucks slate locks, we'll be able to see how we did with respect to uniqueness and how we did with our ownership projections and things like that. Let's see, is hockey done? Yeah, hockey's good. NASCAR's in about 7 minutes. The other thing we got going here is the Breeders' Cup, by the way. For those of you that didn't see, I did a full Breeders' Cup breakdown that was including both today's slate, today's card, and tomorrow's. Tomorrow's is the main Breeders' Cup card. I encourage you guys to check that out if, in fact, you bet on horses. And even if you didn't, if you wanted to throw a few dollars in, you know, it's pretty strong EV, the stuff that I give you. And, you know, it's a lot of variance, and you're probably not going to win. But if you do, you know, you put you in a position to win a decent amount. So we got to remember in 17 minutes to kind of sweat this race somewhat. All right, let's take a look at the NBA. Now, before I get there, let's take a look at the injury. So I still see a couple of questionables, like Jordan Hawkins, questionable. That's 8 p.m. Zach LaVine. I mean, that's a nasty one, you know, if he's out. Daniel Tice. So this is unfortunately the way the NBA is. So we have to keep an eye on the news. So I'll put one of my Discords up here and see if anybody hears any news. Make sure you fire it off. Miles Turner again. That's obviously very important news as well. Let me just see any NBA news before I go over this. No, nothing. So nothing yet. All right. So before we do that, all the Bulls guys are playing. Oh, thank you. Oh, excellent. That's good. We are going to need to know about Miles Turner for sure, right? If he's out, then you get Isaiah Jackson starting and that whole thing. Levine is in. Thank you very much. It would certainly be nice if the DraftKings interface would give that to me. But fair enough. So I guess all we're waiting on now is Miles Turner. Oops. One sec. Sorry. I guess all we're waiting on now is probably Miles Turner. So let me know when you think that hits. So let's just take a look at the sheets. I mean, again, I'll show this today, what it would look like because it's probably going to change in about 2 seconds. But right now, if you sort by point per dollar, Luke Cornett is showing up as this big value, getting like 6.3x here. And then Jose Alvarado, Jonathan Isaac for Orlando. Wow, look at all this. Look at all these guys. This is some decent value here. So if you could play these $3,600, $3,400, $4,600 guys, then it's going to allow you to get to Anthony Davis, for example, pretty handily. So that's what I imagine a lot of the builds are going to do is give us stuff like Luke Cornett and Jose Alvarado and maybe Jonathan Isaac, so we can get to maybe even 2 studs. But let's see. First look at DraftKings. And again, I already put my lineups in here. And I'm playing a full 150 in that $8 tournament today. I mean, I won't play 150 if it's $15, but for $8, I'll do it. All right, so let's upload the projections. They still want me to spell Cameron Thomas Cam. It's fine. It's not going to affect anything. Brandon Miller was in my projections, and he is out. So there's that. And let's just see what we get here.
Two KIA. Correction, 3 KIA. I agree. Can you get some help?
Okay. So let's see again what we get before we sim. And wow, not exactly the guys that I thought. So actually, we'd be getting mostly RJ Barrett. Cornett only like 50%. Like only, I mean, that's a lot. But 90% RJ Barrett's pretty insane. And contrary to popular belief, getting none of the studs. LeBron is like the only stud we're getting. This is crazy. All right. Well, it is what it is. Let's run the Sims, see how that changes anything. And then, so RJ Barrett drops down a little bit. And Josh Hart moves all the way up to the top. Wow, this is not what I expected. How much Isaac did I get? I didn't get any John Isaac. Yeah, I did get 24% Josh Isaac. Okay. So we'll do the same thing we did in hockey. You know what I mean? We'll go the min unique route and see how many min uniques we can get away with without trashing our ROI here. So 61. We're looking at the min destination ROI. Now that's down to 51. Let's go to one more. to 25. That's a pretty substantial drop. Let me just make sure that it doesn't completely crash here. And it does. So let's use Min Uniques 3. I think that's a good combination. And you're still going to get all this, Hart and Alvarado, but I mean, not 100%, I suppose. So going to autofill, right? Same as before. Let's make sure that the highest entry fee, I think, is near the top. We got the Min Uniques at 3, which means that we're not going to have a single lineup out of these 200 lineups or whatever, 182 lineups that resemble each other by even three players. And it didn't even affect our minimum ROI either to do that. I mean, it did, but not by that much. Okay. And in here. And then that should be good. Now we're just, we got to do FanDuel too, right? Yep. Let me check my Breeders' Cup for a second. Still got 9 minutes. We'll check DraftKings, the NASCAR, how we did there in a second. Let's do FanDuel first. But again, same thing. Let's take a look at the FanDuel sheets and see what we would expect. Again, we'll sort by point per dollar. So the one guy that's showing up here in FanDuel that wasn't really on DraftKings is Jonathan Magbo from Toronto. So we'll keep an eye on that. And this guy from Atlanta, the Risachet again. Most of the other guys are pretty much the same. Everything's saved in the contest files again. Let's go ahead and let's see who's out here. So Brandon Miller, that was a thing, huh? So let's put up the FanDuel ones again. It's always important, I think, to click exclude unlisted players and exclude the out players if you're going to build big volume here. And then we'll build 5,000 lineups. He's moving to the building. Oh, you got him? Oh. He's down. Good night. Thanks for playing. Okay. Great movies on, by the way, in the background. If you guys haven't by now, it's like 20 years old, but if you haven't seen the Hurt Locker is just insane. He's still there. Okay, so before we run the Sims here on FanDuel, we'd like to look at 100% Alvarado, as we did the other day. We'll run the Sims and see how that affects it. Then we'll, give ourselves a little bit more diversity by doing that Min Unique trick or whatever. So still like a ton of Alvarado Davis combination, but I think it's okay in the NBA. I don't know what to say. So let's do the same thing. So min destination ROI 79.6. Let's go to Min Uniques 2. Let's see. Really didn't affect it at all. Go to Min Uniques 3. Really not much. I'd love to get a little click out of the Jose Alvarado. I don't want to be 100% of him. That went down to 60. Okay, so let's go back to Min Uniques 3, see what that is. 74 down to 60. So let's keep it a Min Uniques 3, I guess, and ride the wave with the Jose Alvarado. Oh, you know what I did wrong? So I forgot to order this the right way. We got to put the monster here up at the top. Okay. Let's do it again. just in case it didn't recognize it the first time. So what's going on with the Breeders' Cup before this finishes? 5 minutes to post there. Maybe we'll sweat that one. All right, so this is good. And we'll upload the FanDuel ones, and then we'll check out the what was I going to say, the NASCAR. I'll show you how to use this tool to gauge your uniques as well.
Thank you.
Okay, right here. Edit. Should be good. So go Jose Alvarado. What can I say? And we are still waiting for the Hawkins, right? So that is one bit of news we might have to react to. But aside from that, we should be done with the NBA. But as usual, there is going to be something that comes up that requires us to do this whole thing over again in 5 seconds. But you saw how quickly you're able to do it. And that's important. All right, so let's pull up the NASCAR. And this is what we're going to do. Let's go live. And then what we're going to do is we're going to download the contest file. Export lineups to CSV. And then I'm going to save this. I'm going to save it for 2 reasons. One is so I could compare ownership or, see how I did. And the other is so that I can check my uniqueness. Oops. 1 second. Save it as ownership tracking. So can't save it with the same name. Hang on. Ownership tracking. So I have this tool that I don't know if I put it up on the site yet, but I will. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to compare our ownership projections with what actually happened. So we'll take a look at this. Hawkins is in. Thank you very much. Now I can do this thing. And I have this for every sport. So we click on NASCAR and it will compare. Oops. Hold on a second. Should. I can't save it. Oh, because this is open already. Well, where am I? What's going on here? Why can't I save what I need to save? Ownership tracking. Ownership tracking results. Okay, that's the deal. Hold on 1 second. So here's the actual ownership over here. Here's projected over here, and we're ranking them by where we were off the most. So we actually underprojected Eckes. He ended up at 68% ownership, and we underprojected Zilich, and we underprojected by some degree Majeski. But everybody else was. I guess this isn't that bad. Maybe this is bad. Yeah, ownership is tough. But then we're gonna do. Well, we're going to look at the Breeders' Cup in a second. 1 minute to post. But in the meanwhile, we're going to go to the sports projection site so we can take a look at the uniqueness of our Truck Series lineups. So we're here. And let's just make sure we can get it. NASCAR, trucks. And then we're going to upload that same file that we just did. And someone's calling me. Let's see. Hello? Hello?
Hi, is there a Mr. Sambu available?
Wrong number. Is Mr. Sambu available? User unique percentages. Let's take a look. We had, 26 unique lineups out of 50. 45 under 5 dupes. I mean, not too bad. Not too bad. And look at that. When we rank these by unique percentage, by under 5 percentage, we're actually, how are we ranking these? Oh, just under 5 dupes or just total uniques? Or either way, we're in the top 10, which is pretty good. Let's take a look and see what we need here. So in this race, we could sweat this. We don't need, we have a bunch. We have 1, 3. What do we have here? We have a bunch. We have 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. Do we have all here? We're in race 7, right? Vodka with a twist is a really, really good long shot here. We'll take a look. I forgot to bet it. Should I bet it right now? Yeah, if it's not too late. It's probably too late. Let's see if we can get 50 on it to win. Not too late. Okay. I'm going to tell my partner shut out of vodka win bet. Probably not great value. Okay, so we're just rooting for anything long because in the last 3 legs of this pick 6, we have some chalk. So we have 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. I mean, we should hit this. I mean, someone should win. The 8 would be nice. The 1 would be nice. So let's just take a look at it from here. So the 8 is loose on the lead. This would be very nice if he could hold on here, or the 1. 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. Now, if we're going to get greedy, we don't want the 3 who's chalk. So if somehow this 8 can win like this, which I doubt. I mean, I doubt the 8 can hang on and win in this fashion. The 1 looks all right there from the rail, though, huh? If the 1 could beat this 10, who's chalky, this would be nice. All right, so the 10's got the rail. They're all going to inhale the 8 here in a second, but let's just see if the 1 can hold off the 10. That would be really, really nice. And also, this other guy, the 3, who's coming as chalk, which is not good. I don't know. This is going to be rough. Looks like this 3 is going to be coming to get us as the favorite, which is not ideal. Yeah, so 3 is going to come and get us as the favorite. Anyway, so now we do have some. We're live in the pick 6, but it's not for a lot, and we have some chalk coming up later. All right, I guess that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Yeah, he sure was big ticket man. So if you guys feel like rooting, I mean, the last 3 legs at Del Mar, we have the 1, then the 10, then the 4-11. The 1's probably a lock. He's going to pay like 3 to 5. It's not losing. The 10 is kind of fishy. He's like 3 to 1, but he definitely could lose. And the 4 and 11 are definitely going to come in, I think. So it's really going to be about the 10, and it could pay a couple $1,000. We'll see. And tomorrow we're going to be going for all the big money. So maybe I will do a live stream after all. We'll see. All right, that'll do it, everybody. Good luck, everybody, and catch you later.